Well, that's all, folks. Nothing to see here. Secret Service closing the investigation into who brought that baggie of cocaine into the White House, giving us basically no answers at all.
Let's bring in OutKick's Clay Travis. Clay, take it from here because I only have curse words.
Well, so my analysis on this in general, guys, would be let's pretend that what they thought initially was true, that this was anthrax, right? When they shut down the White House, which is how we all became aware of this potential issue in the first place. If they had determined this to be anthrax, what the Secret Service basically announced today is they would have no idea how to know who brought anthrax into the White House. That would be a direct terror attack upon the most important residents in the United States. And the Secret Service is telling us that it would be impossible to determine who was responsible for that attack. That, frankly, is unacceptable. So you've got a couple of plays here. Either they are lying, which I think is what they are doing, or the White House is not secure enough and everyone inside it is in perpetual danger of being attacked by a terrorist who could then leave and we would never know who it was. One of those two things has to be at play based on what the Secret Service told us. And to me, the fact more likely than not is likely to be that this is a lie and they just don't want to tell us who was responsible for this cocaine.
Like no fingerprints, Clay? Are you a little skeptical of that one?
I know.
They didn't send
the fingerprints maybe not as much, but the lack of video, there can't be that many people that would have access here.
They didn't send the bag to Quantico. They didn't test the coke to try and find its source. Like the lack of curiosity about this on behalf of the White House is just astonishing. God, take it away.
All right, Clay,
this is just disgusting.
I want to turn to this. It's one of the biggest sports stories in the whole country right now. Northwestern University's head football coach, Pat Fitzgerald, has been fired following hazing allegations. And Clay, just putting my cards on the table, I'm a Northwestern diehard. I wrote about this extensively yesterday. I'm not objective in this. I like Pat Fitzgerald. I love Northwestern athletics. What's your view on what just went down in Evanston? Because my head is still spinning.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm surprised, primarily because they did an investigation here. They announced a punishment on Friday. I believe he was going to be suspended from work for 2 weeks. And then over the weekend and beginning in this week, the pressure grew on Pat Fitzgerald, and the university president and the athletic director, I think, became afraid that they were going to get blowback here and it was going to threaten their own jobs. And so they made the decision to fire Pat Fitzgerald. I think based on the allegations here and the fact that Fitzgerald says he was not aware of them, the guy's going to end up with a way better job than he had at Northwestern in the first place.
Hey.
If you're a Northwestern fan, you could speak to how Pat Fitzgerald has done. I know the last couple of years have not been ideal, but over the course of his tenure, Northwestern football has been infinitely better than in the past. And to me, this is evidence of the leadership at Northwestern dropping the ball and not being willing to stand behind what they initially determined. I think Pat Fitzgerald's going to get paid out on his contract. That is, I think that ultimately Northwestern will relent on that front. And I think he's going to have a better job within a year. So that's my overall big picture analysis.
Yeah, there's just no new information from the announcement. There's this independent investigation over months. They read all the information, the leadership at the university. They said, all right, 2-week suspension over the summer. And then the outcry came that you mentioned, and they said, oh, wait, never mind, not a 2-week suspension, permanent firing with no new facts. Coming to anyone's attention in the interim. That is a real head scratcher, to put it very kindly. You were talking about wanting to use curse words earlier in the segment. I will now shut my mouth for the same reason, Dagan, so I'll hand it back to you.
No,
also, by the way, they kept the entire assistant coaching staff. So if the head coach had created such a toxic culture, wouldn't everybody have to go? That doesn't make any sense either.
This is why I love you and adore you, and I want you back on soon, Clay Travis. Because we go from talking about
Happy to do it. Keep up the good work,
the
y'all.
White House, Northwestern.
Well, from blow to blowback.
Well done, Guy Benson. You're invited back, too. Thank you, Clay Travis.